Hello. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how to interpret your data. Okay. In here, I had already a quiz built with numeric responses of these students being able to go ahead and tell me what the circumference was of each of these. Now, I did it as an inclusive response, so it gave a range. Now, this is depending if I told my kids, hey, go ahead, use 3 rather than 3.14 for pi, or go ahead, use 3.14 for pi and try and multiply it, right? So I kind of just gave a range as to the answers that were given, but that's for a different story. Now, you guys can easily go ahead, see at the top that there's build, settings, report, moderate, and export, right? Settings is made for whenever you want to go ahead and edit any of the settings for the students. I like to go ahead and show this. Um, I normally give my kids 2 attempts. It keeps the high score. I let them build on their last attempt. And then I only click these 3 boxes so the students aren't able to see their response. This helps prevent cheating, and the kids actually have to remember what they put down or write what they put down in order to go ahead and do that. It's just me making cheating difficult. You can also do time limits, require student access codes, 1 question at a time, shuffle questions, answers, give a calculator. I don't do any of that, so we're good. In your reports, you're able to go ahead and see some nice things. Now, the first two are mainly data. Um, this is the old item analysis. It's not very detailed. It has the basics, but it doesn't really break down the chart for you. If we go ahead and we look, we can see just like a mere idea of so far what my kids have gone ahead and done for their assignment. It lets me know like the difficulty, the discrimination index, the RPB, and the mean score, right? So just what they're scoring on this, right? This is the old version. I don't recommend using this one whatsoever. The quiz analysis, the new one, if you view it, you are able to go ahead and see actual numbers at the top of how many kids are scoring what. So I had 6 that got 0, 2 got a 20. I have 13 that got a 50, 7 that got a 70, and 24 that have a 90 or more. It also breaks down the difficulty. So obviously the questions that involved calculating circumference with diameter, those were a little bit more difficult for them rather than the two that were just radius. So I'm also able to go ahead and under my reports, I can see outcome analysis. Now, I do like outcome analysis. However, whenever you go ahead and you see the data, let me see if I can shrink this a bit because I don't want you guys to see my student names. That's what makes this a little bit difficult. But I'm going to go ahead view report. The report is going to go ahead and show student and everything. However, this is the main part I wanted you guys to go ahead and see. You are able to do your outcome analysis. My alignment was 7.9B. And out of 4 questions, I have 31 students that show mastery and 21 that did not meet mastery. Now, this goes ahead and means that for those 21, I would probably more likely want to group with those students in small groups than the other 31 that have mastered. Now, keep in mind there are advantages and disadvantages to having this data. One, it does on the left hand side give you your student names. It does let you know like how many they missed or how many they got. You can kind of see like a 1-4 here, but again, I don't want you to see my student name, so I'm kind of sticking out of it. The advantages to go ahead and using this is that one, you're able to go ahead and pinpoint your small groups, right? Maybe some kids that you can go ahead and target. Maybe there's only a few per class period that you have. Me, I have all 4 class periods in here. So I'm able to go ahead and see what needs to be done, right? Another disadvantage, though, of this is that you won't know anything until your kids go ahead and submit it. So I have like a number of students that probably still haven't submitted this. I want to say I have about 20 that haven't submitted this. So right now they have zeros for me. But this is a way for you to go ahead and see if students are demonstrating mastery, or if you can go ahead and see, just interpret the data how you want, right? If you have a specific goal, or if you know your kids only answered a certain amount of questions, then obviously the data isn't going to correlate. For example, some of these, with some of my students, I'm like, hey, I only want you to answer 2 questions out of the 4. Or, hey, I want you to go ahead and answer this one specific question. Show me that you understand it. And then, of course, it'll show them as low scores, but I do go back in and I'm like, okay, we're editing this grade here because they did get it right or something, right? So there are advantages and disadvantages to it, just like any other system. But it is a good tool to go ahead and use for your reports. That's it.